Hey, welcome back to the Conversion Clinic. In this video, we'll just go through a lunch and learn and see how we can improve a website, suggest better things for their ads, etc. just to improve the conversion rates and the click-through rates and all that kind of stuff. What we might do is just pick a random niche from here. Estate planning, let's just do that. So estate planning lawyers. So they're lawyers who focus on estate planning. So like succession and all that kind of stuff. So what we have to do is go find a random website. Let's go into Google Transparency Center. Let's see whoever's running ads. So 17 ads. Cool. Okay, estate planning. There's some quick wins in here that we can already do. Do we find another one? Gold Leaf, maybe? What are these guys doing? Giving laws, maximizing tax deductions. When is probate needed in Minnesota? It looks like they're running to like blog articles and stuff. Powers attorney was a trust. It might be because it's lower cost per clicks doing that. Let's go to this easy one here quickly. So they're running a brand ad. I think it's a brand ad because it's just saying estate planning law group, which is their name by the looks of it. Now, there are a lot of things you can do to improve the click-through rate here. One of those things being just using numbers and using location insertion and things like that. So let's have a look at these guys' website. That's definitely not their website. Let's go have a look. So this one here should give us it. Open that one up. It's 404, don't know why. Let's have a look. Let's go over to espionage. Let's type in their website. Enter this bad boy in. Let's take a look at their ad landing pages. So they go to a page called /start. Let's take a look at this. We're going to take a look at these guys' ads. So they send people to this page. Estate trust and probate attorneys. We help protect the people you care about. Our service is your peace of mind. Estate planning is essential for every individual and family. Get the peace of mind knowing that blah, blah, blah. So what are most people going to do when they come to this page? They're just going to scroll up and down. That's what most people do when they're like in search mode, right? And so, and when they see the page and they're like, okay, well, I'll commit to reading this thing, they'll read, right? This is what people do. Right off the bat, it's a short landing page. It probably could do well. I don't know whether or not these guys are doing amazing or they're sucking right now. Let's improve some of the ads. Let's get some quick wins on the board. I'll show you how. So let's increase the click-through rate. Increasing the click-through rate, we could just go over to ChatGPT. You know, why not? We might create a persona. Let's create a persona first. What is this? It helps us understand pain points, desires, all that kind of stuff. I'm targeting someone who is looking for estate planning, and I should clarify, estate planning, not state planning. They are basically looking for someone to help them handle their personal estate planning, succession planning, that kind of stuff, I guess. And from what I can see, this person is looking for estate planning for children. They also go into real estate deeds, etc. But I think I mainly need to focus on their personal estate planning. So let's enter that in, and basically that's going to then come up with a few points. So I feel overwhelmed by the sheer complexity of estate planning, from legal jargon to financial complications, stressed about protecting my children's future if something happens to me. Cool. So I'd love to leave a legacy that benefits without tying them to legal complexity. Okay, great. Okay, let's take this and let's duplicate our GPT over here, and let's take this into an ad writer that I've got. Let's improve these ads. And so let me go up. It's going to load my GPTs in a sec. Okay, so I'm going to then go into here, paste this in. Let's take a look at these. So it's suggesting some ads that we can replace the existing ads back over on this page. So estate planning law group. And how would we supplement this? So if this were a brand search ad and it was just bidding on brand name like estate planning law group and stuff, then it's totally okay to say this in the first pinning. But then the second pinning, like the headline that comes after this headline, because you should have two, would be something kind of like this in pinning 2. So 1,000 families guided in, and then insert the location automatically. 850 families future secured. Something like that at least improves the click-through rate a lot. And so it's a very quick win that doesn't take much time to think about. You can obviously change these numbers. These are just giving you ideas to improve the click-through rate. In terms of this, what I would do for this one, so we're introducing a different lawyer here, Ladybird Deeds. And so what you would do here is you'd probably insert the keyword you'd insert the keyword automatically here. And the way that you do that is using something like this, where it says keyword. and then you've got a fallback keyword in here. So this would automatically insert what the person's typing into Google as long as you're bidding on it in your search keywords. And you can add a little number 1 at the front. This just adds a number to it, really. And the whole purpose is to add numbers in your headlines so that it stands out from other bidders, other advertisers on the search results. So that's something that I would probably do as the first pinning. And then the second pinning, so you put that in the first pinning here. And then in the second pinning for the second headline, you'd probably do something, again, something like these. There are third pinnings in here that you could try, but they're shown less frequently than the other first pinnings, like headline 1 and headline 2 get shown the most. So I would do something like that, but definitely add the location where you can and add numbers where you can. Clever numbers, different variations, and you can play with ChatGPT around that as I've shown you now. Okay, so next up, we've got the persona still. Now we're going to think about the landing page, the website. I'm trying to get this done by 3, right? Let's take a look at the website. So where was that? Did we open it up? Yeah, we did. Okay, so the website here, I would split test this short one versus a long form one and split test the conversion rate. So if people are in a hurry, what their behavior is, do they bounce, how long do they stay? You can track this using tools like Site Behavior, Microsoft Clarity, Hotjar. There's so many tools out there. I recommend using them to see what's going on with the current landing page based on enough traffic coming through. And then I would test it against another long form landing page. So we're going to create one together. Let's do this now. So let's say, for example, we want to beat this landing page with a better landing page. So what we could do, right, is open up Figma, and we're just going to start out with a quick hero section. So if we've got a video, that would be great. But if we don't have a video, let's just do something like this. Let's go here. Okay, we might do a section like this, right? So what we'll do is we'll try to build it for SEO at the same time as conversions. So what I mean by that is we'll set the right header tags at the same time. The header tag set here, they've got 2 H1s, that's a bad thing. Their meta titles, not that great. Meta description's okay. Headings, they've got a H1 here, a H1 here. These should not be H1s. One should be a H2. So this one here should be H2, this should be a H1, and that should be smaller. This one should be bigger, because that's the main thing that people are caring about. Yep, that's all you need to know there. Let's just plan a better landing page. So what we can do is we go back to the persona. Let's copy this persona. Let's create a hero section. So what we're going to do is, I've got scripts for everything, by the way, you probably noticed that already. So let's create a few hero sections based on this persona. Okay, already these are a bit more personable and relatable to the average person, the average Joe, who's probably going through this. And so if we have a look at it, simple estate planning designed to keep your kids safe and assets protected. Craft a plan today for your kids' security. So it's all about your kids. We'll probably go more generic, probably not about kids only, but more about family. Okay, so it's going to come up with some better ones around family. Protect your family, avoid complications. Simplified estate planning for a future your family can depend on. I like that. Give your family a secure, straightforward path to inherit what you've worked hard for. That's also pretty personable, but I kind of like this for simplicity's sake. So what we'll do here is select the first H1 before I jump into that one. Your family start with a plan, estate planning made simple. So the idea is in the H1, you want to have the keyword. If it's estate planning or estate planning services, you add that keyword in the H1 and you'll add that to the landing page. But the trick is that you make it small. So for example, you can manipulate the header tags so that it doesn't take away from the main thing that you want people to see, which is that big headline. So what we do is we just open up this Figma file. We point this over to here, assuming you're giving this to a developer or something. Okay, so that's H1, estate planning made simple for your family's future. Let's say that was it. And then we selected this one for the big headline that everyone sees. So we go back over to here, we paste this in, we make it bold, we shrink it a little bit, hold K, let's bring this big puppy over here. So it kind of look like that, right? Simplified estate planning for a future your family can depend on. So it's very easy to read. It's top to bottom. The more columns you have on a landing page, the more complicated it is to absorb. So technically this is 2 columns. We've got column here, column here. We've got a slideshow that's semi-distracting. We don't want to distract people. We want them to keep scrolling down the page. to look at the main offer that we're offering them, right? So let's say, for example, we had just one static image in the background, kind of like this. I like these two people in the background there. It's nice. You can see it just here, maybe. And so now from here, we would just copy this and select a kind of statement. Estate planning doesn't have to be overwhelming. Whether it's your home, savings, or legacy, deserve a plan that keeps it simple, tailored for your family's needs, avoid hidden fees, and get clarity on your options, right? That's nice. I like that. Let's get this in here. Okay, that's just a standard paragraph here. And basically, you can do that, right? Okay, that's good now. And then what we'll want to do is come up with a call to action. Start planning today. Create your family plan. Start planning today. Secure your family's future today. So that's better. So I like that one. Secure your family's future today. Bold. You get the idea. Now, below it, you'll see some unique selling points, right? So I've got a script for this as well. We could use unique selling points for here. So what I might do is copy the original. And then let's go USP. Okay, let's come up with some USPs. And so this would be around what these guys do, basically how many clients they've served, what makes them unique, what's their process about, etc. And we could do something like this. So like over 3,500 successfully completed. So that could be number one. And it could be like something small, like you could do something like this, 3,500 plus plans completed. You could do that. The word success is nice because it's got connotations around success planning or succession planning, so that could be a better one. But you do something like that, right? 3,000 plans completed. Obviously you'd fact check that against what you've actually done, and you'd send this to your dev. But basically you do something like that. And then you choose a few more. So you go, okay, well, we've got clear, simple, no legal jargon. So no legal jargon would probably be the words you highlight here. No legal jargon would be another one, because that would be amazing if you didn't have legal jargon and you could make it simple for the everyday person to go through. What else? Let's pick another number, 100% confidentiality. Maybe that's a thing that people are struggling with, some lawyers. I don't think that would be a problem, to be honest. But let's say it was. And then secure your clear, simple terms. Did we have something around that? Step-by-step guidance, plans, adaptable, direct access to what? No middlemen, no surprise costs, minimal paperwork. That's a good one. So minimal paperwork. We'll take that one. Minimal paperwork. See how we've just come up with that really quickly. We've beat their current one that they have now. Something that's very easy to read, something that's relatable, etc. So the next section now, you probably have like a problem agitate solution section. So what is that? That is kind of like this, right? We go over to here, and it kind of looks like this, right? So I might just go something like that. Back over to here, paste this in. Let's make this smaller, and it would look something like that, right? So you've got the text. And so this is like telling a story, right? I would probably think that someone going through succession planning would need to see the lawyer they're dealing with. Like they probably want to know, who am I doing business with? Are they going to be personable enough for me? Do they understand my needs? So they'll probably need like some sort of intro, kind of explaining like, this is what you're going through right now. We can see, we get it, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, we can either go into the steps or into some testimonials. So we'd want to plan some testimonials. So we might just quickly plan in advance right now, so I can give you a quick visual on what it might look like at the end of the day. So it might look like something like this. So we go into here. Do we go there? Let's just do that one, and I'll show you what this kind of may look like. So we might do something like that. And then below there, we might do meet our team. So you could probably do something like that. I wouldn't probably do this straight away, but if trust is a big factor and people are wanting to see your team members, that might be something to consider. So you might do something like that. But I personally would probably, I don't know, I would probably need more time to think about this, because you don't really have team there. You usually have it further down the page. But every industry is different. It's good to test this kind of stuff. Probably not there. That sucks there. So we wouldn't do that. Cool. Testimonials, meet our team. You could probably have what makes them different, maybe some of the services they offer. Basically, it would be derivative from the actual persona itself. So overwhelmed by the sheer complexity of estate planning, I'm worried about the hidden fees. Look, we'll probably get into this later, but let's skip through and let's come up with a problem agitate solution section, right? So a problem agitate solution section, let's have a look. So do something like this. Let's take a look. So here we'll come up with the first one. Let's protect your children's future without the confusion. Estate planning shouldn't feel like a mountain of paperwork, complicated terms. But if you're feeling overwhelmed by legal jargon and unsure of the best way to protect your family, you're not alone. Yep, got it. Cool. Let's go over to here. Let's plan this in here. Zoom out. Let's go Okay. Let's drag that over here. And we've got our first section. We'll get rid of the HTML. And something like that would be a bit more relatable, and then we'd have to deal with some of the other sections. But you get the idea. This video is going a bit overboard because it does take quite a bit of time to like strategize this thing. I would come up with a section here about more USPs maybe, or move the USPs down here and then go into a testimonial section, and then our team, and then contact form, etc. There's a lot of templates out there. That's kind of how I would tackle this to make sure that we're improving the conversion rate. Now, assuming that this doesn't already have a conversion rate, because what we've found is sometimes pages like this, as simple as they are, can have a really good conversion rate. But you also want to test new ideas and see whether or not these new ideas are valid. Like, for example, the long form landing page we have here to write stuff that are more relatable to the end audience, improving the copy, improve how it relates to people, and then tracking the results using one of those tracking tools that I spoke about. So that's all we have time for today, guys. I hope that was valuable. If you own an estate planning business, you're a law firm and you offer this as a service, I hope this gave you some ideas on your landing pages. Yeah, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.